Jesus.
That would have been funny. Unmute. You popping?
Hey, y'all, good to see you. Candace, it just felt like one of those games from the onset where you were going to dominate. You had that one play against Ariel Atkins when you backed her down, finished at the rim, and you stared her down a little bit. Like from the onset, did it feel like you were going to have one of those games where you were dominant from minute 1 to minute 40?
I think just being able to come back here, this is where we started our season last year, and being able to be semi-whole with the one to my left, we knew we had to come out with a lot of energy. We had two, how would you describe our practices? Intense practices. So I think with that, it sets the tone for the way that we want to play and need to play. And I'm loving the centralized location of Chicago, so it's only an hour and a half flight here. I love no shoot arounds, so I think that's extra energy, and just to come out and play with a lot of energy.
And you didn't have breakfast.
Kyle, I mean, what was it like being back out there for the first time with your teammates? I mean, it seemed like in the second half you really were able to find your put it all together.
I just think it's just me going out there and not trying to do too much. It was fun. I felt like first day of school again after practice, but it was just cool to be out there. I'm in DC. My family and my friends are here, so it's just fun, and we got the dub.
Thank you.
Annie, we'll go to Annie next.
Candace, can you walk us through that last moment with Sloot, where I'm sure she must have said something to you to have what happened happen. So yeah, can you walk us through that last moment?
Yeah, Sloot's the QB on the court, and she told me we were gonna run our play where I'm at the elbow, and she's gonna curl off and to hit her, and she's gonna make the layup. She was adamant about me getting my 10th assist, so that's why I love this group. I think we play for one another. We get hyped for others' successes, and we celebrate it. And I think that's huge. And it means a lot to me, especially coming from her, she's had 18 assists, triple doubles. So, this is just a small fry compared to her, extra, extra large size fry that she did in the playoffs last year.
Yeah. Playoffs. And last thing, ball movement seemed like it improved in the second half. Is that an accurate assessment? And what would you guys both contribute that change to?
I just think we just knew that in the first half we weren't getting the ball to the second and third side. We weren't making a defense move. So, once we start playing our basketball, moving the ball, cutting, and getting our offense going, we're hard to guard.
Agreed. I think once we stopped turning the ball over, we had too many live ball turnovers in the first half. I think we gave them, 11 points off our turnovers. And so for us, we got to get a shot on goal most times down the court. And, I'll live with that just as good offensively as we are at our defense today. I know the Chicago Sky are known for our defense, but having Ka back in the lineup and us being able to move back to our natural positions, I think definitely helps us on the defensive end as well.
All right. Thank you both.
We'll go to Doug Feinberg.
Hey, ladies, just talk a little bit about the unselfishness on this team. And I mean, Ace, you had 10 assists, but obviously, as you said, Scoots had 18 in the game. Just how unselfish this team is. And also, sort of now that you're sort of whole for both of you, is this sort of season starts now that you're getting this team back together and getting the pieces that you need to defend this title?
I think that's what drew me to this team, was because I feel like, the style of play, we all know that, next game Ka's capable of going off, and, we're going to keep allowing and moving the ball to find her, but we're going to keep moving the ball. And I think when we're at our best, that's what we're doing. When we get focused on the mismatch or, and the ball gets slow, that's when we're not at our best. So I think this is an unselfish group. We always talk about passing up a good shot to get a great shot. And in games that we do that, we're pretty successful.
You need me?
She ain't pay attention in class at Rutgers. I'll just tell you that. She wasn't raising her hand. For
You know what?
answering
I'm answering the
questions.
question.
I'm saying.
I think that's what, like what she said. That's what make our team special. Everybody is capable of showing up or being that person for whatever night it is. But and everybody celebrates each other's success. If it's Candace night, it's Candace night, and it could very well be somebody else. But I think that's what makes this team very special is celebrating other success. Because ultimately we're gonna win, and that's what we want.
Job Rutgers.
All right, we'll go to Cheryl and then Michelle Vogel.
Hi, ladies. How you doing?
Hi.
What was it like in the locker room at halftime, knowing that you had turned the ball over as much as you did in the first half? Was there a lot of talk about it, or you just knew what the mission was in the second half?
Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about the type of turnovers because I think there's a difference. There's live ball turnovers where we have to get back in transition defense, and then there's dead ball where you can set your defense. And we were having a lot of live ball turnovers throwing across the defense, and we just have to trust our offense. If we miss somebody, I think we're so unselfish that we don't want to miss somebody, and sometimes that gets in the way. And I think me, Ka, Sloot, Allie, we're gonna have the ball in our hands. Emma, we're gonna have the ball in our hands a lot, and so we have to make good decisions. And we talked about that at halftime.
How much does it help that you have on the bench playing as well as they are too? You look at Rebecca Gardner and what she's been able to do defensively and offensively. How much is that you look forward to gelling even more?
Not only does our bench bring the offense, they're bringing the defense. It's so important to be a championship team that there's no let up when the bench comes in. We are comfortable sitting down and watching them hold us. We struggled early. The bench came in and they held us up. And then, in the second half, we did the same. So I think that is very important to have that balance. And to talk about Rebecca, she brought it on both ends of the floor and didn't even play a lot of minutes, and I think that's just important for those pieces to be a championship team.
And we have to talk about, Dana. Dana's ability to control the tempo of the game, both defensively and offensively, come in, make sound decisions, pick up. I think that's that experience from last year, because sometimes you see with rookies that second-year hangover, and she's really done a great job of adjusting. Z adjusting to her role now coming off the bench, doing a great job going back to her natural position. So I think all in all, early we were trying to figure it out, and I think hopefully it'll help us for later.
Thank you.
Michelle Vogel.
Yeah, thanks. Candace, this is for you. This is a very small group of people who've had multiple double-doubles. Yourself, Courtney, and Cheryl Swoops. I know that versatility is something you've taken great pride in your whole career, but what does it mean to you to do this, near the end of your career and be in this small group of people who've accomplished something like this?
It means a lot. I was always the person that went to the park and was like, Post can dribble too, and Post can pass too. I was that person. So to see the evolution of the game, but I mean, to be in the company with Sloot, who does it on a regular basis and, is going to end her career probably leading the league in assists. And then Cheryl Swoops, I grew up watching her play and just, idolizing her. So to be in that company, I'm humbled by it. But then also I realize like there's more that are coming behind me. And I hope that, coaches are watching that, Post players point forwards. That's what I like to call it. That's where it's at.
Yeah, and I guess if I could real quick ask you to elaborate a little bit more on that, because you're right. Obviously, Swoops is more, guard forward, and Sloot is a pure guard. Do you feel like you really have inspired a whole generation of Post players in terms of your ability to run the floor and be a playmaker as well as a finisher and a rebounder?
I hope so. I obviously, with the assist, you don't do it yourself. You have to have amazing teammates as well. And you have to have an offense that's predicated off of that movement and that trust. But I hope that the game is evolving. I mean, we're seeing rookies now coming in. Kira, today, just her athleticism, her ability to move and stuff like that, adding new parts. And I think that, we're going to see more and more triple doubles, and we're going to see bigger players. I mean, you look at Stewie, coming up, just that her size, her ability. Deladon, being able to stretch the floor. And so I think that's where the game is going, is size. And we did it before the NBA do. So Lauren Jackson was here way before they were playing like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Last question will go to Eric Wilson.
Yes.
Ladies, thank you for your time. Kyle, if you could just speak to the leadership that Candace brings to the team, and then again, Candace, could you speak to the energy that Kyle brings to the team?
I think Candace is amazing. I think that she consistently brings it, every single day. And that's important. Like I said before, when she came to this team, we were excited to have her because we knew she had the blueprint and she knew what it takes. So I think that she consistently brings it every day, holds us accountable and holds herself accountable. And I think she's a winner. So, it's not hard to follow in her footsteps. And I think that to her leadership, it is so contagious. And we have so many leaders on our team that leads in different ways, which is very important. Candace is going to lead by example. She's going to be a communicative leader. And then you have like Sloop. And then we have me, emotional leader, and I think it's important that we complement each other. But I think Candace comes in and she sets the tone, and it makes us follow.
Thank you, Ka. That's so sweet. No, I mean, I don't know if you felt the energy with her coming back. You talk about contagious. You talk about just anytime you need that play, Ka's gonna make it. And just even our pregame rituals today were different, more energetic, more Ka. Somebody always talks about how like sometimes people run when they know they're gonna get the ball, and then there's like all the time runners that are gonna run for the sake of the team because they know it's good for them. That's her. And so when you have somebody that's like, in football where you got to run that slant as hard like you're gonna get it, so that you can open up your receiver on the back end, and that's what Ka does. Like, she's not gonna get all the assists, but she gets hockey assists because there's so much attention for her. I'm so proud of her and her, obviously worldwide MVPs. But at the same time, I'm glad she's back because I think we have more work to do, especially during the regular season. That's it.
All right,
I'm
thank
done.
you.
Drops the mic.
James K. Okay.
Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Coach, this is one of the rare games where Courtney plays 21 minutes. Statistically didn't seem like she had like the same impact that she usually has on the game. And I'm just curious, just like when you look at how talented this team is and being able to still win by 9 despite that, how do you just feel about the amount of talent that is on this team and everyone sort of gelling together, even with new pieces coming in and out?
I mean, this is what we want to build a team so we don't have to lean on one player so much, and we can have other players step up and not have any drop off. So I mean, for her to, she was still important. Maybe statistically, like you said, it wasn't the same, but she was still important in the 22 minutes that she played. She played good minutes, especially in the second half, of kind of helping us separate. But when you have other players playing the way they did, Dana played so well defensively. I mean, you want our second group to be competitive, where they're pushing. They're making it hard for me to have to put the first team back in. So, and that's what they did today. And we just take it game by game, and we'll try to build on this and be ready for the next game Tuesday, which we're going to play against a young, energetic team, and we just got to be ready for it.
Sure. And before the game, you had Todd inserted in the starting lineup, and then Azare goes to the bench.
Right.
Did you have any conversations with her about her role changing a little bit, just moving to the bench versus having start? Have you been in the starting lineup the past few games?
Yeah, I talked to her. I talked to Z about it. Man, I have a lot of fun coaching this team. They are all they sacrifice without a problem, and they're down for anything. But the one thing that our coaching staff, they do a very good job. They make sure that everybody feels important. So it's really not a big deal for us who's starting and who's not. That's just the buy-in that they have. They love the feeling of winning. They love the feeling of their teammates doing well. And so, we celebrate as much as possible the small victories, even in a game that we lose. And, everybody know that they're not only will their number get called, but they also know how important and valuable they are, no matter what role they play with us. So, Z was good tonight, and her coming off the bench or her starting, but she did a great job tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Any?
James, Candace talked about Courtney calling the last play that got her the 10th assist. Can you speak to the greatness of those two sharing the court together, and also the significance of Candace joining Courtney, and also Cheryl Swoops on the list of players who have multiple triple doubles?
That's a special list, Hall of Fame list. And it's just a special moment. She was out of the game a few minutes ago, and she needed a couple assists. I didn't want to be the person I didn't want to be that coach, so I wanted to give her a chance to be great. And 16, 13, and 8 or 16, 13, and 9, it's not going to be as celebrated or as recognized, even though the game is, what it is, as now she has a triple double and she joins that elite ball club. I mean, players, elite pool of players that have done that. And, it's amazing the chemistry that those two have and how they hold each other accountable and how they're there for each other. Courtney had to make a tough layup for her to, get that record. And it's, Courtney could have missed it and been like, I want to be here by myself. And she did not. And that's just what, the players are for each other. And I just appreciate coaching both of them.
And then the ball movement in the second half seemed like it improved. Would you say that's accurate? And what did you talk to your team about at the half to kind of change that a little bit?
I don't know if the ball movement improved. I know that the ball going to the other team deproved. We were passing it around too much. I think we had 4 turnovers in the second half, and that's what you have to do to beat a team like this. So We were able to move the ball, but we weren't telegraphing as many passes, and they're a physical team, and we just withstood any of their runs, and we made some runs of our own. So, yeah.
Thanks, James.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go to Doug and then Mike.
Hey, James, good to see you, man.
Hey, you too, Doug. I see you in that little box.
You know, I tried to be like you, the haircut. The question I got for you is just, you mentioned a little bit about the unselfishness, who starts, who doesn't, and obviously you guys had a very unselfish team last year. Is that one of the keys to your success, having the assists that Candace had today, and just how unselfish this team is, it seems, for everything, so to speak, to be successful? Yeah,
I mean, it's that's the way it is, because at the end of the day, it's winning that matters, and you know, we celebrate the small things. So we definitely want you to have that same feeling as, you know, I want Candace, when she has a triple double, I want, you know, Dana to have that greater feeling for Candace and have the greater feeling about herself too. As good as Candace feels, I want Dana to feel and know that even though she didn't have a triple double, the plays that she, you know, were able to put us over the top, or, you know, sustain, you know, a lead, or, you know, the even a steal, you know, at the end of the half or at the end of the quarter, like those are plays, those are winning plays, and we celebrate all those. So I think as long as everybody knows that they're appreciated, then they understand what, you know, the sacrifices for the greater good of the team.
Thanks, James.
Mike Hughes.
Hey, James, you know, today's the first day that you've gotten to coach in an actual game, 3 WNBA Finals MVPs. So for you to be able to coach them in an actual live game, what is that like for you, and what's that magnitude like, knowing that you have so many bodies on this team, whether it be in the starting lineup or on the bench unit that you can go to?
It's great. It feels good. I'd say it feels good. I didn't know. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, I mean, we have good players, and sometimes that gets overstated, that, you know, coaches are good. You know, coaches are as good as the players are. So as long as we have good players, I'll look like a good coach. So yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Last question, we'll go to Eric Wilson.
Hey, Coach, appreciate it. Just talk to me about some of the things that you talked to the team about in pregame with regards to disruption and tempo.
We wanted to make sure that we didn't put them to the free throw line, and we want to make sure that, you know, we got out and ran on misses. And, you know, James K called out this stat that, you know, about us running and how our pace was slow, and I still don't know what pace means, but we wanted to make sure we did it today. So I don't know. I got to check the pace numbers after, but I just wanted to make sure we got up and down the floor. Wish we could have got more than 63 shots, but hopefully we can build on what we're doing.
What's going to be more of a priority moving forward?
Process, not really winning. It's how we win, and how we play. And so that for me is like the biggest. That's how I'm going to judge us. I'm not going to judge us from how we win games, or if we win. It's just how we play, and it's a way that we want to play to. It's a way that you play to win championships, and that's what, you know, that's what we aspire to be, a championship team if we can.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys. All right, go ahead.
Someone today with the victory. The team just showed a lot of things. What were some of those things you were happy about?
In fact, like I said, like we defended without fouling. We were able to stay 5-on-5 a lot of the time, and able to get tough rebounds, tough defensive rebounds. We out rebounded them, and like that's out rebounding the team is I think is great, especially at home. So that's the thing that we wanted to do, especially with this team. Didn't like that they had a lot of catch and shoot threes. So, you know, hopefully next time we'll be able to clean that up. But the fact that we were able to close the paint, I think it was good for us.
Candace had a big day. I guess just what are your thoughts on that?
You know, like I said, like I always like celebrating great moments, and to be able to share that moment with her today, and for her to be able to share the moment with the players that we have on our, her teammates. I thought it was great. And she's a great player, and I'm very fortunate to just be able to coach her.
And lastly, Candace kind of alluded to Shakira being one of the next up and coming. Just what were your thoughts on her game today for the first time we got to see it?
I've been watching Shakira for a long time, man. And she's a special talent. I talked to one of her coaches in college often about her while she was there, and just getting some background. And I think she's going to be a great player. She just have to keep the work ethic that she seems to have, and you can see her game expanding. And it's somebody that we have to prepare for. We took her serious coming into this game, and somebody I know for as long as I'm coaching, I'm going to have to prepare for. So no, it's just and to be with this coaching staff, it's great for her. So I mean, they got a good one.
Appreciate you, Coach.
All right, we're good. Thanks.